What are the habits of highly effective people? I'm Nate. I'm the FitFutureMD. I'll do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Pick up your free copy of the nutrition and workout guide if you're interested in getting healthy. I'm the owner of Ensorsale. Ensorsale is family. Together we rise up from humble beginnings to inspire others all over the world with the messages on our t-shirts. Wear your inspiration today, because what you wear matters. What people see around them matters. Stop seeing all this negativity around and see inspirational messages instead. Go to Ensorsale.com and use code FitFutureMD for 20% off your purchase. So, basically, how to become a highly effective person, or what are the habits of highly effective people? Well, the first one is to be proactive, right? So for me, this means what if, then this statements, right? What if, then this statements. Try it again. What if, then this statements. So I'll say, what if this breaks, then we will do this statement. That's being proactive, right? So, say you have a piece of equipment and, one of the parts on it breaks. Well, if you had been proactive, then you would say, well, if this breaks, then I need to call this company to come fix this problem, right? And have their phone number, have their address, who you're supposed to be speaking to. That's being proactive in something, right? Whereas most people are reactive, right? After something breaks in, they'd have to figure out who to call, figure out what the part numbers are, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's being proactive. And you can tell, who successful business owners are by this, right? Like not being reactive, but being proactive, right? So the second quality of a highly effective person is to begin with the end in mind, right? So basically we're going to go through a scenario of, if I started this company, or if I started this business, or if I started doing this, what's the best case scenario outcome for that, right? How big could I get it, right? So this is why I personally stay away from service-based businesses, right? Because a service-based business is limited to the service you can provide, right? And I go to the millionaire fast lane, side of business where I'm trying to sell a product, right? Because selling a product is only limited by how much product I can get and how many people I can convince to buy it, right? It's not limited by the service that I can provide, right? So, so say you're a car washing person, a detailer, and you can only wash 5 cars in a day. Well, that's your limit to how far that can go, right? And even if you're charging, $200 a pop, $1,000 a day, that's your limit, right? Whereas, I don't know, you go sell baby products on Amazon and, that's unlimited throughout the world, right? People are having babies every day, right? So, keep that in mind. To be highly effective, like you have to be going into so there's a saying from Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett graduated with somebody that went into steel, and steel was on its way down, right? And he graduated and went into, business, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, all that kind of stuff, and insurance. And, his boat was bigger, even though they're both the same skill level, because his boat's bigger, his end product is almost, his company's almost worth $1 trillion now, right? $800 billion company, right? And that's because his boat, the vehicle that he was using, was bigger, right? So, and then you can see from him that, people that pay you every month for something, helps your business be even bigger, right? So that's insurance. Insurance is like the holy grail, of somebody's going to pay you every month their whole life, right? You start them out from when they're a baby, getting a whole life policy when they're a baby, and you're paying it your whole life, right? So the number 3 thing is that a person that's highly effective is looking for a win-win situation when going into cooperation, right? They're not trying to compete with people, they're trying to cooperate, right, with people. So I kind of find this one a little, iffy because, at some point someone wins the competition, right? Like it's Apple versus Samsung for phones, right? And Apple is winning. Like, there's no question Apple's winning. They aren't cooperating with each other, right? They are competing, and Apple is winning, right? Because they've built a crazy brand, that Samsung necessarily hasn't done, right? Or quality, a higher quality, whatever they did to win, But I would say, when you're going into like real estate or, you can buy other people's businesses and stuff, that's all like cooperation instead of competition, right? Or so let's say I eventually get somebody to make my t-shirts instead of me making them. That would be me cooperating and trying to make them where they're profitable, and then I can still be profitable, right? The competition part is what sent a lot of our jobs to overseas, right? So just think about that All right, and so the last one, and I think the last one is like the most important thing, and that is to sharpen the saw, right? That is to make yourself better, improve yourself, right? So a highly effective person is always trying to improve themselves, right? So how are we going to do that? Number 1, we're going to limit our burnout, right? So I'm trying to work for as long as I'm, at least 75% effective at my work, right? Once I hit that lower than 75%, like, I'm slowing down, I'm sleepy, I'm tired, like, okay, we're done, right? We're cutting it off, because that quality of work is not going to cause the needle to move, right? Number 1. And then number 2, everything I do, I want to be able to come back tomorrow and do it again, right? I don't want to be, burnt out where I have to take a week off, and just forget about my customer, right, for a whole week. Like, that's great and stuff, but, this goes into another one, which is sleep well, right? When you work a hard day, it's very easy to sleep. When you've done a good job, it's very easy to sleep. When you're not cheating people, right? Like a lot of people in business can't sleep is because they know they're screwing people, right? You sit there and sell a window for $28,000 when it's really worth $7,500, like you're cheating people, stuff like that, right? So, and then the last thing, for sharpening the saw is to read, right? I want to get inside the mind of other highly effective people and see how they think and how they operate, right? Like I say, I'm reading Elon Musk's book right now, and Elon is basically coming up with an impossible scenario and figuring out how to do it, right? Or how to make it, so like his idea to go to Mars was to put a greenhouse on Mars, right? And he thought, for $12 million, I can send a rocket to Mars and put a greenhouse on Mars, right? Obviously that turned out not to be the case, but just that unbelievable goal has led to SpaceX, has led to NASA giving him contracts to send satellites up. Like, they're basically, almost a $500 billion company now, SpaceX, and, that's after, having a successful company in Tesla. That's after, being kicked out of PayPal, right? But, and now he has Twitter, so, and he wants Twitter to become the everything app, right? So, so that's how, like, you got to think big, right? So You got to get inside the mind of other big thinkers, and because we've all been programmed to be employees, right? Where we do one simple task perfectly every day, right? And a lot of that is still business, right? I'm still doing these same tasks every day, but I'm doing it with a vision to do something big, right? And that's the difference, right? You know, at Ensorsale, I want to replace Nike with Ensorsale, right? Because Nike's basically sold out the whole community, right? Sent all the jobs overseas. You know, they use slave labor. Well, I'm not going to completely bash them here, but you know the problems with Nike, right? You know why I don't wear Nike, but anyway, so basically, you want to sharpen the saw. You want to get inside the minds of big thinkers, right? So that you can reprogram your mind from an employee to somebody that is highly effective, right? That's the idea, right? And if a book is not doing that for you, there's no inspiration from that book, toss it, get another one, right? So I'm Nate, I'm the Fit Future MD. I hope this helped you kind of reshape your mind into like what a highly effective person is, because when you're highly effective, you get a lot more done than other people, right? And you know, at the end of the day, that, you know, like I say, the win-win thing's a little off for me, because at the end of the day, this is a competition. We are capitalists. Like, there are winners, there are losers, and we don't want to be one of the losers, right? So we need to become a highly effective person so that we win. I'm Nate, I'm the Fit Future MD. Shop at Ensorsale.com. Stop wearing all this negative stuff out there. Stop seeing all this negative stuff out there. Put your inspiration on a t-shirt, wear it around, inspire others, become great yourself, rise up from humble beginnings like Ensorsale. So use code FitFutureMD for 20% off, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.